Hey everybody, it's Charlie Hall at Polygon, and I am here today to share with you a brand new game in Steam's Early Access program. It's called Osiris New Dawn, and I believe it went live just earlier this week, or maybe late last week, but we're going to give it a whirl here and kind of show you guys around. I'll also be taking questions on Facebook. I'll try and keep my eyes in the chat window where y'all are hanging out, and we'll see how that goes, okay? There it is right there. I see Ralph and Tron are watching, so let's give this a try. Single player. I'm not going to jump online just because there's so many people and there's so few servers right now. It gives kind of, I think, an unfair idea of kind of how the game works. But it's a survival game, and it's a survival crafting game. You can choose from two different factions. And eventually each faction is going to have its own starting planet. Now they kind of start out on very similar planetary surfaces. So we're going to try the Outlanders here. It's a class-based game. Right now, the Marine, the Engineer, and the Ranger are still in development. Because again, I said it's a early access game. But we're going to go with the Scientist because, well, that's all we got. All right, we are going to change up some of the colors here. Primary color, ooh, all right. Let's do something that'll stand out. It's a red planet that we're going to be on, so we'll do something a little bit lighter. I don't want to, that might be a little too excessive. That's cool. I'll go with some whites here. How about a nice purple glow? All right, we'll pick a random name here. Sammy Colley, Henio Staley, Andrew, Christoph Ewing. I like that one. All right, and when you start up a single-player campaign, you can actually kind of customize the type of planet that you're going to be on. So we're going to go with an infested planet. We're going to give the aliens normal damage, resource recharge, resource modifier. I think, what is resource recharge? Resource modifier. I think we'll be all right with this. Special loot chance. We'll bump that up just a little bit. And we're going to launch it. Boom! So this is their loading screen. It gives you kind of a rough idea of all of the different key controls. You got your sprint, you got your crouch. There is a third-person camera, which is pretty clever. So let me show you this. Ooh, look, here's some of my things bouncing. So we're on the third moon of Theseus Prime called Proteus 2, and we have a suit breach. Not good. We've got some duct tape. All right, we're good to go. All set. All right, now our first mission is to just find our survival kit. Where did our survival kit go? Here we go. No, that's our drone. Here we go. What do we got in here? Oh, got some baked potatoes. Let's see. A little bit of a nod to the Martian there. I like that. Plenty of water, some bandages, a medical kit. Excellent. And the next thing we got to do is find our ammo box. That's how we're going to defend ourselves. Here we go. So in addition to being a survival game, it's also a fairly action-packed shooter as well. They start the game with a recharging pistol, as well as an assault rifle. I'm going to set both of those up right now. Pardon the background sound. That's the tornado siren going off here in my hometown. Every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, tornado siren time. And here we've got our inflatable temporary structure. So we're going to toss that up real quick. Graphics look clean and crisp, says Brittany. Yeah, I completely agree. It's actually running on Unity. This is a highly customized Unity engine that they're working from. And when I saw it at PAX West a couple weeks ago, I was really impressed. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to show it to you guys. So let's get this dome built. We can rotate it, which is really clever. And then it kind of it clips a little bit through the ground. So if you're placing it on more of a steep incline, I can show you what that looks like over here. You can actually place it even on fairly steep hills. Check that out. And it looks just fine. So we're going to confirm that build. We're going to build it to 100%. All right, we live here now. Owned by me. Now, this inflatable dome is not really a permanent structure. It's going to degrade over the course of a couple of days. So job number 2 is to head out and find some more resources. We're actually going to take along our little sidekick here. This is our droid, and every player starts the game with one droid, and we're going to set him to flank us to the left. So he's going to stick with us and help protect us as we go exploring a little bit on this very interesting alien world. We're going to save inside the inflatable dome it wants us to do, so we're going to do that real quick. Switch to first person. And we have saved. Boom. We're also in an oxygen recovery zone, so if we get any damage to our suit, if we need to take our helmet off to eat, we can do that safely inside the inflatable dome. But oxygen isn't that big of a deal so far in my experience. Mainly you're concerned about the buildup of carbon monoxide as you run. You'll deplete your oxygen reserve, but if you look at that indicator over there on the left, you can see the carbon monoxide building up. All right, so we're going to start hacking away at some resources. I don't think it's a good idea to label any game as a No Man's Sky, even if it's just a passing reference or hybridization, says one of our watchers. Well, you know, I disagree with you. And I got some flack for that when I wrote the original article, the preview of this. I think that this game does some things that players wanted No Man's Sky to do. So in the perception of players, this is doing things that they expected No Man's Sky to do, for good or for ill. And so I think as a touch point, that's a really useful tool for folks that might not have played it before. But a lot of folks also have touched Ark Survival Evolved, and I can't tell you enough how much this reminds me of Ark Survival Evolved. You've got the structures, utilities, furniture, all these different crafting windows. The way the character avatar is laid out reminds me very much of Ark Survival Evolved. And it's actually from a company that was doing a lot of marketing for Ark Survival Evolved. It's from the folks over at Reverb. They are publishing the game. And they borrowed a lot of, I feel, the good things that Ark Survival Evolved did that made it a really successful experience on Steam multiplayer. And I think that that's a good move. So yeah, the two touch points, I think, for folks that are into these kinds of games, it reminds me very much of Ark and also of No Man's Sky. We got some weather coming in, and that's reducing my visibility. It's clouding up my visor here, but it's not really doing me any damage. What I want to do is build another structure here. I want to build this depository. So what I need to find is some aluminum. I've got plenty of iron, but basically no aluminum right now. So I need to range away from my base camp and try and find some of this aluminum. Once I get that depository, I can actually send my droid out to go and gather additional resources for me. Ooh, plutonium. Don't need that right now, but I will remember where that is. So again, we're playing Osiris New Dawn. It's a brand new game in Steam's early access program. It's a Unity-built game, and it actually comes from the team at Phoenix Fire. They're really well known for their environmental art design, and I think you can see a lot of that here on Proteus 2, which is this moon that we're on. It's a handmade world. Every area of this is handmade. It's not procedurally generated. It's one of a kind. And there's actually some landmarks on this world, 3 or 4 of them. And I'm told it's about 60 kilometers square. well, 60 kilometers round, if you will. So that's a significant play space. But if you look up into the sky here, the other planets that you see in the sky, you can travel to those planets. Whoa. What on earth is that? It's a crawler. I've not seen one of those before. It doesn't seem to be interested in me. Whew, okay. You're a very fragile spaceman in this game. I really don't want to get in any combat if I can help it. My assault rifle has limited ammunition. I think I've got 10 clips of 30 mags, 10 magazines of 20 rounds, about 200 rounds for the assault rifle, and I don't want to waste those. The pistol recharges, but it's a single fire weapon. Anyway, what I was talking about, see this planet over here? Okay, that is a real existing planet in this game world. Once you build up a rocket or a starship, you can fly there. And there'll be other players on that planet that are building and harvesting resources as well. So the multiplayer opportunity for this game is pretty impressive, I think. Brittany says, I like it so far. Someone said it was $25 for early access. I'm guessing on Steam. Yes, it is available early access right now on Steam, $24.99. The team let me know that that price is bound to go up. But right now, it's a pretty good deal, I think, for what you're getting. But again, it's an in-development game. If that's not your bag, you have been warned. Another thing that I really like that it does is it gives you an arrow in the upper left from your spawn location. And so you always know kind of in what direction your spawn is. Do they support old CPUs? I'm not sure that Chris is asking about this game. What are those emoticons flying on the screen? Asks Constantine. Yeah, you can voice your support or dislike of the stream in real time here on Facebook. So if you're seeing those emoticons go flying by, that's the other viewers virtually sitting alongside you saying yay or nay. If you're just joining us, this is Horizon New Dawn. It's a early access game on Steam, Unity built. And I'm enjoying it very much, but I'm just getting started here with a brand new life. Another clever thing, what's a spaceman without some rocket boots? So that definitely makes getting around a lot better. You're not really limited in the fuel, such as I found with your rocket boots, so just go wherever you like with those rocket boots. Isn't that great? Especially when you get into combat, it provides you a nice escape to just pick up off the ground. Some of the smaller monsters can't touch you. When you do that, look at that. Love it. All right, we got some vegetation here. What's the end game? Do you get to the middle of the galaxy? Asked somebody in the chat. Right now, it's in early access. I was talking to the developers at PAX West, and they said the end game is to build a sustainable colony. Right now, it's a very social game, and that's the goal, just to build as many different structures and vehicles as you can. As you build up your infrastructure and the number of tools and buildings that you've got, you can build things like starships, you can build space stations out in orbit around this planet, you can build spaceships, you can build, is that aluminum? Please be aluminum. Aluminum, excellent. You can build 30-foot tall mechs. We're going to drop a link to the article here in the chat, so if you guys are interested, there is our article up on Polygon.com, and that'll tell you a little bit more about the game. There's also a launch trailer on their Steam page, if you want to take a look at that. It speaks a little bit more to some of the higher level vehicles and such. FF. You do have to deal with encumbrance, so that's part, yep, and now I'm at 100% capacity, so I'm going to drop some of this. Can I? Not right now. All right. We're going to hoof it back a half-kilometer to spawn. Can I split this? Split it again. Okay, drop that. Perfect. Put it in your droid, says Matt. That's a great idea. I didn't even think to do that. Thanks, Matt. Boop. Come here, droid. C calls your droid back to you. There we are. Follow state patrol flank, right? I don't know that I can. F. Well, rather than sit here and futz with the droid, we're just going to drop 1 aluminum. To get to inventory. Instead of futzing with the UI right now, we're just going to move things along and drop 1 aluminum. I hope you can forgive me, Matt. Whoop. Here's another one of the monsters. You know what? I'm feeling bold. Let's take this thing down. Whoa! Suit breach! Got him! Whew. You know what this is going to do? This is going to get me a little... Alright. Get a little alien meat there. Alright, suit breach. And we're good to go. Whew. Boom. Boom, says Brian. Cassini, be nice. No reason to hate quite that much on No Man's Sky here. Let's see here. If I drop that, will I free up enough? No. Alright, we're just going to lug everything back. It's not too far, only about 300 meters. Why are we running when we have rocket boots? That's a good question, Jared. I should have used the rocket boots. But the rocket boots really only get you up. Dustin asks if this is out on Steam. Yes, this is available right now on Steam. The public servers are live, so you can actually go and do this multiplayer. Towards the end of our stream today, I might actually do a little bit of multiplayer. We'll see. Just so you can see some of the higher level gear that's just sitting around. But you can also run a private server, and you can choose to run just a single player game as well. That's what I'm doing, just a single player local game. Brittany asked for a review of this. We'll see. We will see. We got a pretty thick review schedule at Polygon. But it's something that I've definitely talked with Arthur, our reviews editor, about. You know, we hit that sticking point, though, with early access games. I've reviewed a few early access games in the past. H1Z1 was one of the early access games that I reviewed. And, you know, it becomes this albatross, in a way, editorially, that you kind of have to follow the game in great detail every week, every month, and you're constantly playing it, constantly updating it. So it's a lot of work to maintain an ongoing review of an early access game. So we'll see if this one makes the cut, and it's one that we want to choose to do that with. Otherwise, we may wait till it goes live and do a review of it then. And it looks like our structure's in shadow now. As the planet is moving around its star, the shadows move. And we're getting on towards dusk here. So let's make that depository. There we go. Excellent. All right. So we built the depository. Now we can unload some of our gear here. And the next thing we want to make is a foundry. So we're going to take a look at what we need to make that in a second. Utilities, forge. I'm sorry, a forge is an outdoor crafting table. So I'm going to need some iron, which I've got, titanium, and also plutonium. So I saw some plutonium up this way. So let's see if we can get our droid to go after some of that while we look for a titanium deposit. Yesterday I was tinkering around with this just a little bit. Again, we're playing Osiris New Dawn, a Steam early access game. I was tinkering around with this yesterday, and I had some difficulty finding titanium. Look at that thing. I do not want to mess with the crawler. That thing is big. And I already used a bit of ammunition for the last baddie that I ran into. In fact, I'm going to drop the assault rifle back into my active inventory in case I run into anything else. 3, reload. Back to the chisel. Okay. Here's that plutonium. So let's bring our droid back over to us. All right, droid sir, I need you to patrol and mine this plutonium deposit for me here. Thank you very much. So now my droid is going to go over there. He's going to mine that plutonium for me, and then he's going to drive it back to the depository. Pretty slick, huh? So, doubling my production of resources. We found some copper, but what I don't have is titanium. You know what I'm going to do? I already went in that direction. I think we're going to go over this way. Zacharias asks, Unreal Engine? No, this is actually a Unity game. This is a highly modified Unity engine. And one of the developers, I don't know if I mentioned this, one of the developers is a very well-known environmental artist. I dropped the article where I interviewed him right into our Facebook chat if you want to read that. He worked on StarCraft Ghost. He was the environmental artist on StarCraft Ghost. So he definitely has an excellent CV. He also worked most recently with Oculus, building some of their experiences. He worked on Eve Valkyrie, among other things. Right now, my hydration and my nutrition are high. My health is about 75% after that run-in with the crab beast, which I instigated, I'm sorry. And my suit is 100% though, so that's good. Looks like our temperature is okay. Hey, droid dropped off 19 plutonium. Thank you, droid. There's some more plutonium. That looks like iron out there. I wish I had a telescope. I know that you can build scopes for the assault rifle at the very least. It would be nice to get like a pair of binoculars or something. Because this is a great big environment. And it's not procedurally generated either. It's a handmade planet that we're on. And in fact, this whole little star cluster is handmade as well. That planet that you see in the sky, it's actually on the other side of this rock outcropping. That planet that's in the sky, you can actually fly there. You'll be able to build rockets and spaceships and fly from the ground out of the atmosphere of the planet and just continue playing the game. Ooh, all right, lots of stuff over here. We got some aluminum, which I have. Looks like some geysers over there. Might be more copper. Could be titanium. Titanium and copper look similar. So we're going to go take a look at that over there. Right now we're about 200 meters from spawn. I feel good about this. No, that looks like copper. It's like a big field of copper. I love how his suit gets a little dusty the longer that he's out in the environment. You can see kind of the red irony dust collecting on the white suit. I love that. There's that critter. I think he's going to leave me alone. Yeah, this is all copper. I wonder what these gas plumes are. I'm very curious as the community gets more and more into this game if people kind of come up with a way to associate the various resources. So like this copper occur naturally next to whatever this geyser plume is. And so can you find one by finding the other? That's going to be fun to see played out. That could be titanium. It's probably, yeah, it's aluminum. And I don't know about the distribution of resources either. Again, it's a very new game, Osiris New Dawn, on Steam in the Early Access program right now. I'm not sure if deposits are randomly. Ooh! Something said titanium over here. Yes! Just what I needed. I don't know if resources are randomly spawned. I do know that they regenerate over time. That was one of the options when we started up the game. All right. Excellent. And titanium in this game, very light. Unlike real-life titanium. 23. All right. Let's get back to our spawn and build that forge. Now, one thing that I didn't mention about Osiris New Dawn is that, well, there's a full day and night cycle. And there's actually daytime creatures, and there are nocturnal creatures as well. There's a whole different set of them, I'm told. Okay. Too close. I don't like that. Got him. Got some alien meat. When these things despawn, check this out. It's got this very nice effect when they despawn where they just kind of sink into the ground. I kind of like that. Pavel says that he loves the running animation. Yeah, it's really good. This is a very athletic spacesuit as far as spacesuits go. It's really dynamic. Dong Wu asks, how well is it optimized? You know, I had some hiccups when I was running on a public server. The frame rate wasn't great, but I'm running it at about medium settings. I'm running it at 1080p, and I'm recording it while I'm streaming it. So my computer's working pretty hard here, and it's holding up. I'm very pleased with the performance. But your mileage may vary when you get onto a public server. That's something a little bit different. All right. So we're going to open the depository. I'm going to need some plutonium. And I'm going to need some iron. And now I can build my forge. There we go. We're going to put that right next to our depository here. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Boop. And there's our forge. Now, what can we build with the forge? I've not actually built a forge yet in this game. Search for minerals to build a habitat is next. But what can we do? Forge is... Oh, look at this. There's a label right on it. An outdoor crafting table that can be used to make items that require high heat. What can I make? Ooh, a shovel. But first I need to make steel. And to make steel I need aluminum, which I'm a little short on, but also magnesium. I've not found any magnesium out there. I can make, an assault rifle magazine. Again, I'll need more steel. Titanium rounds, very cool. Oh, a barrel for storage. Requires copper and steel. Tool used to gather sand. Okay, so I'm going to need the shovel in order to make glass. And then the glass is one of the components that I'm going to need to build the habitat. Excuse me. So steel, glass, aluminum, copper. All right. So I think job one is to find some magnesium deposits. If you guys see any magnesium out there, it's colored purple. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to go in this direction here. A compass would be nice, so I could at least explain to other people what direction I'm headed in. What's that? Looks like iron. It's in the craters, says Keith. Create the shovel, says Tyler. Build a rocket. I want to build a rocket, David. Very much so. But I think that the fast track to that is to get a couple of your friends together on a private server and and work together to build up as many resources as you can, as quickly as you can. Pardon me. Burning daylight here. There's some more plutonium in the distance. Look at that view. There's actually a really nice depth of field adjustment that they've got as well. I love how that works. Okay, so there's those geysers that we were looking at earlier. So on the other side of that, yeah, it's getting on towards night. So I think I want to head back to the habitat because I've heard that bad things happen at night in this game. I'm actually going to call my droid back over to me. So I've sent out a ping to my droid. And I definitely want him with me. Come on, droid. He should be making his way to me from the plutonium deposit that I sent him to. There's a light in this game as well. Let me flip that on. There we go. And so right now there's just this very faint sound of wind and the sound of my own breathing and kind of the crackle of the thyristor in my light. This is really claustrophobic and creepy. Where is my droid? Come on, dude. Alright, my droid is not responding. I need to go find him. Because I do not feel comfortable out here by myself at night. So daytime looks pretty uneventful at the moment. I hope exploring won't be this boring, says Mario. Mariosa. There's a lot of walking around. I will be honest. I've spent maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours with the game so far, and resources are very spread out. You can build some larger wheeled vehicles, pretty much like a Mako, like an 8-wheeled Mako. There's also kind of a speeder bike thing that you can build as well. And then that makes getting around much easier. I'm going to have him flank to my left. Alright, now that I've got my little robot friend here, let's keep exploring, but in a different direction. It would be nice if you could flank out a little bit further. Alright, we're going to have him flank right, I think. It's just not obstructing my view so much. R. Okay, thank you very much. Zach asks, is it like a little sparrow? Yes, it is exactly like a little sparrow. But it actually takes location-based damage. All of the gear in this game takes location-based damage. So when you're flying a little sparrow around, if you damage one of the little right elevators, you'll lean to the right. It's very clever how they've done that. And they want it all to be a modular building system eventually. That's one of their design goals, where you can build unique vehicles that just kind of match your tastes and your tactical need. Here's some aluminum. I think I'm low on that. I'll probably grab some while I'm here. These red plants will puncture your spacesuit. They're like little porcupine plants, so I don't want to touch those. I don't know how long-lasting my duct tape is. Mario says there's a risk that exploring can become tedious and uneventful, and that'll lose people's interest quickly. We're humans. We need stimuli. I agree. I completely agree. And part of the stimuli that this game provides is the multiplayer. So you can have additional folks in the game world with you. But for reasons of performance, and also couldn't find anybody else on staff to play with me today, we're just doing a single-player game. But in my experience, the game doesn't perform quite as well in multiplayer right now, and I think that's to be expected. I keep hearing some rock falls. I don't know if that's me or if that's something that's following me. I'm not sure yet. I am very grateful for that compass in the upper left that's telling me where my habitat is. Again, we're playing Osiris New Dawn. It's an early access game on Steam. And we are looking for magnesium because we are trying to build some steel. And that steel is going to let us build a shovel, which is going to let us collect sand, which is going to let us build a habitat. Following another game that this looks like, I hope it has a database to save the stuff you build. Oh dear. Oh! Teach me to read the comments. Thanks, robot friend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was another roar from behind me. Alright. Got some more alien meat. Again, I don't have a ton of magazines for this assault rifle. I'm not crazy about using up all that ammunition before I find enough resources to build more. Can the pick be used as a last resort weapon? I believe it can. Yes, you can melee with the pick, Entree. Look at the rings around that other planet. I want to get to that other planet so badly. This is a barren kind of Mars-like world. They also have in development right now, if not soon to be released, then very, it's not far out, I'm told, but there's kind of an ice planet, and that ice planet's got a completely different atmosphere, a completely different weather pattern, completely different animals, both nighttime and daytime wildlife, and I'm excited to build up my colony enough to get a rocket to fly over there and visit it. Here, magnesium. Joseph says, please, nobody buy this game because you never know. It might just be another money-grabbing game. I really don't know what you're getting at there, Joseph. This is a game 5 years in the making. It's in early access. It is in development still, so, caveat emptor. It's $25, but I'm not sure what you mean by money-grabbing game. People deserve to make money for the work that they provide, and so far, this looks like a very promising game. If you're interested in supporting the development, you absolutely should buy it. A lot of folks aren't real crazy about the early access process, though. And, there's some titles out there that I'm not terribly happy with either, that have been in early access for entirely too long. Something like DayZ comes to mind. I really wish that DayZ was further along, but it's not, and I don't know what to do about that. I'm not on that team. It disappoints me, but I don't think directing hate towards those developers and telling people not to spend money on it if they're interested in an in-development project is productive. So, I don't know. That's not a bad idea. Maybe there's some other better way to spend your time today, Joseph, if this game is really making you angry. Sorry for that. Well, you got to understand the caution people are taking after No Man's Sky. Yeah, I do. So, and? I get it. I get it. Folks are disappointed in No Man's Sky. Everybody out there on the internet has made that clear. I actually bought it twice, once for PC, once for PlayStation 4. I returned my PlayStation 4 copy. I have still been playing No Man's Sky on PC and been enjoying it. And, I educated on myself on it before I bought it, and it does what I expected it to do. I just didn't need 2 copies. There's some more plutonium. I like that the plutonium glows in the dark. I'm a little grumpy that the magnesium doesn't, because I need magnesium right now. What is that? Okay, that thing is following me. It's like hunting me. Help me out, robot! Oh, what is that? Looks like it's attacking the robot instead. Oh, there's two of them. Whoa! Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh. That thing was definitely hunting me. That's awesome. Oh, that's gross. Okay. All right, hello, Daylight. I'm very pleased. Oh! Not again. I'm very glad that I brought my robot with. That thing is tough. And I am out. Yeah, I'm straight out of ammo. Well, that didn't last long. Making good use of my rocket boots right now. Oh, suit breach. It's running. Oh, there's another one. They are hunting me in packs. They are not messing around either. Whoa! My health is at 75%. My suit is at about 25%. No, suit's maybe 50%. 60%? What I'm saying is I need to put some duct tape on. I still hear them. Oh! Oh, this is bad. I need to leave. But I also need to save my robot. So what we're going to... Oh, no! Oh, no! Okay. My vision's starting to blur here. There is some weather coming in. I may have lost my robot, calling it to me. Right now I'm just trying to keep them a little further away from me. Just kind of bouncing them back. This is very difficult because I'm out of ammo for the assault rifle. And the pistol is a one-shot weapon. And it's recharging. Looks like there's 3 of them, maybe? Ow. Oh, they're spitting. Almost got that one. Got it. Okay, that's one down. I need oxygen. Okay. Don't have any use for that right now. Well, that became pretty fun. Uh-oh. Got it! Alright. Now I gotta find my droid. I don't have resources to build another droid. Mike says, I feel like there is a serious lack of Martian quotes here. Yeah, sorry, my heart's beating a little too hard for me to properly make the good movie references. Oh, yeah, this is bad. Ugh. Okay, that is a level 1. That's a gnat? Oh! And the gnat got me, guys. I was going back bravely to try and find my droid. Alright, I actually don't want to continue. Let's say no. What I want to do is I want to show you guys one of the more populated servers. Let's see if we can get in there. Public universe. Anything can happen here. We're in the lobby. I'll select that one. Where's some room? We'll go to server 1. Why not? 9 people. If you've got Osiris New Dawn on your computer, I'm heading to server 1. Come on in and join me. I've got maybe another 15 minutes here in the stream. We'll just take a tour of one of the public servers out there. Proteus 2, third moon of Theseus Prime. All right. Looks like we had another storm here. But see what I was saying about the frame rate? The frame rate is struggling a little bit. My backpack is encumbered, so let's drop some of this stuff. Not here to collect resources. I'm literally here to make friends. Owned by me. Hello. All right, so this is one of the larger structures. This is a laboratory. It's not owned. Maybe I can get in there. Let's see what the inside of a laboratory looks like. This is a spaceship. It looks like somebody's crashed it right into the front of the lab. Well, but we can still get in there. Oh, what can we do? Ow. Oh! I'm being stream sniped. Dr. Man. Can't we be friends? I just got here, Dr. Man. Foulest murder. Looks like he's having some traversal issues. Boop. I can fix that. You won't have any more traversal issues once you're dead. I just want to look at the spaceships, the pretty spaceships. Can't I do that? Boo. Now we're going to spawn back in. We'll pick a different server this time. If we see Dr. Man joining us, we'll know that I'm good and truly stream sniped here. Multiplayer, public, select, join. And one thing that's interesting about the multiplayer, again, I think it's one of the things that it needs to work on the most. Everybody just kind of starts in the same place. As long as you're starting on one planet rather than the other, if you're United Nations versus the evil faction. There's nobody on this planet. Well, that's no fun. Let's see if we can get to a different one. George says, stream sniped, lol. Yeah, well, it happens. Carrie says, rage, rage against the dying of the light. Yeah, nighttime is tough in this game. It is something to rage about. Again, not real populated, this server. Well, a couple of things. All right, I know it's parked incorrectly, but at least we can go take a look at this. This is one of the spaceships that you can build. And again, this is a game where the planets that you see in the sky, we're playing Osiris New Dawn, which is an early access game on Steam. The planets that you see up there in the sky, you can actually fly to those planets. There's 2 of them, I believe, plus the home star of this system in the game to start with. And this is how you do it with one of these starships right here. And that's probably not supposed to be parked quite like that, but... Spaceship. Owned by Colony. Oh, so there's a colony here as well. Oh, there's an interesting monster. A Tumbo. That's really cool. Look at that. Very wide set eyes. It's alright, buddy. I don't mean you any harm. Gordon McDish. Thanks, Gordon. Gordon's going to take care of that for me. Alright, last try here. We're going to go back to that primary server and see if we can get a little bit more of a look at some of the structures that players have built. And then we'll probably call it a day. Join. Mike asks, when joining a public server, are you spawning with random new weapons and inventory? Mike, you're essentially starting just like we did in the single-player game. You start with some potatoes, you got a survival kit, some duct tape to fix your mask. There's a crate that's got your name on it with some weapons in it, and that's pretty much it. Oh, here we go. Here's those hover bikes that I was talking about. Because these aren't owned by me, I can't get in them. I don't believe. Yeah, no. But they're modular. So this is the left engine. This is the hover bike, the front stabilizer. You've got the right engine. You've got the right stabilizer. But it's a modular design. So as it takes damage, it'll begin to list one side or the other. You'll get uneven power output from the two engines, and you'll need to repair it with your repair tool in order to progress. Looks like I'm actually stuck on the thing. Well, that's no good. But I'm very pleased. The servers, there's not a whole ton of people on the servers, but it looks like the servers are holding together pretty well. Frame rates decreased from the single player, to be expected, I think, from an early access game. But it's not terrible. Christine, this is Osiris New Dawn. It's an early access game out on Steam right now. It's been worked on for about 5 years by a 2-person team. I think it's a really interesting achievement so far. Here we go. I want to get over to this spaceship and show you guys the scale of this thing now that we've found one that's on the ground. Look at the size of that. Now, some of these vehicles are also multiplayer vehicles, so you can load up your friends' droids, and take them along with you. Something like the Mako allows, I believe, up to 4 players and their droids, plus whatever gear. Uh-oh. All right, I don't want any trouble. Ooh, looks like we're getting a lot of warping on this server here. And that probably has to do with the weather effects and the nighttime effects. And the fact that there's a couple of players in here. It's an early access game. It's not perfect. They're still working on it. We were having a great time with the single player version. It was fairly smooth. So, all right, let's get out of here. So that is Osiris New Dawn. Thank you guys for joining me. It's available on Steam. Check it out if you like. It's $25. Yeah, yes, Mario's. This is being built by a 2-person team. They've been working on it for about 5 years. I was just as surprised as you were. If you want to take a look in the comments, there's an article that I wrote right after I previewed the game at PAX West earlier this year. But thanks very much for joining me. We'll talk to you soon.